Hey, what's up, team? I know we are ultra critical of Hasbro milking molds, but man, how many times has Magic Square gone to the well with this guy? And if you're not familiar with this dude, this is MSO2 Ultra, their newest version of the MSO2 Light of P series, which is an upgraded version of their Legend Scale figure. And because he is the Ultra version, I am going to be ultra critical in my feedback. Don't get it twisted, I do love this figure. It's actually one of my favorite Optimus Primes, but I'm just going to be very, very objective with the feedback. This opening door, very, very nice. Inside, not so nice. You can't fit anything in there. I mean, MP44, I believe you could fit Spike, right? But he doesn't have that. Also, this, oh man, that little side mirror is so loose. It just doesn't want to stay in place. And overall, the side looks good. This part all cleans up nice, but there is a bit of an unsightly gap there, and that is partially due to the way this transforms. This will spin around. And speaking of the windshields, man, why are they so dusty and dirty? And it looks like there's all this like abrasion and blemish on it. The chrome looks really nice. Everything on the front of this face looks really good. I like the details on the windshield wipers because one of the things about this version is that paint. Paint is supposed to be one of the hallmarks of this figure, but I wish perhaps they had done something with the windows. I think they look a little plain. Undercarriage, for the most part, looks pretty good. Very simple, very sleek and smooth. This part looks simplified, but at the same time, it's just a transformation piece and you don't need that part to look complex or anything like that. And so on the bottom, I think he does clean up well. We do get some insight into the legs. I wish the engraving was a little bit more pronounced. This looks a little cheap to me. This is not separate, nor are these, and I don't know. I just wish that they were unique, independent parts on top of this. All right, looking at the feetsies in the back, these are done well for the most part. The lights are there. You can see these are the toes and the heels just kind of bent up, but not too hateful from my part. I do like the metal bits that they have on the toes, giving it kind of like a better, center of balance, center of gravity. This part I think could be done better. It's so plain, but it's because of the way this transforms, because these will make up the side of Optimus Prime's legs, and they don't have a ton of detail because this in itself generally is not that detailed when it comes to extra parts and engraving. It doesn't look like the Siege or Earthrise stuff, you know? And this part, it's not really hidden. That's just his back plate, the back portion of his waist armor. And you can see that it's just kind of spun there, but yeah. And these parts, they are the, the little gas tanks, but honestly, they're just really thin bits that are housing the other gas tanks on the inside, and it's okay. And sometimes this kind of likes to like bow out a little bit. And so again, just being super critical with my feedback. There are areas where this is supposed to tab in, and you can see it's tabbed in well enough there, but sometimes it has a tendency to bow out. Going back to this area, I do like the fact that the underside behind the wheels, those are all filled out. There's some nice detail over there. Same thing with the back tires as well. You can see some of the suspensions, and then the rubber tires. This is all a nice touch. Rolls like a champ. Doesn't really have collision on the bottom, and so no scraping. But yeah. Overall, this is not a bad truck mode, but again, there are some areas that they could have done better. This area is not too bad, but yeah. Anyway, now that we've kind of talked about that, why don't we progress and take him into bot mode? Hey, really quick with a commercial break from our sponsor, TF Safari, tfsafari.com. Check them out for all of your mecha needs from first, second, third, fourth party. They also do upgrades as well. You're not going to find a lot of sites that cater to different tastes and needs. tfsafari.com, and if you do go there, utilize the codes that you see on the top right corner of the screen and save yourself a little bit of change, man. They are a very reliable vendor. They are out of China. They ship to you in about 2 weeks, super sturdy boxes, and yeah, tfsafari.com. Can't say enough nice things about them, and so thank you so much, TF Safari, for sponsoring this video. So full disclosure, I'll be doing a couple of things out of order, maybe focusing on a couple of things here and there at random, and so yeah, just kind of flow with me. So this side bit, when you remove this, you can see that this is connected via this dovetail tab. And he has a couple of those, especially in the front over here as well. But what's not great is that the instructions don't really tell you the order of operation in which it needs to go in. You need to get familiar enough, otherwise you're going to have some difficulty getting this all to line up and making it look so clean. But more on that later. And so this bit, you can see that this is the gas tank, nice chrome, and this is the real one. That will actually that'll be used to kind of hold the panels of the leg in place later on. And this bit is just going to fold in on itself. And this ultimately, all of that is going to hide inside the leg a la MP10. And all of this stuff we are going to separate. And so, you know what? I'm going to need a spudger to separate the legs. And so just give me 1 second. Okay, I got them separated. This is a really, really tight fit. In order to actually get them together, I had to use soft nose pliers to do it. And so just be kind of mindful of that. So this bit, it's not difficult. It's just that you got to do a lot of things at once. And I may have showed you this earlier, that this is the real one in there. And this is just going to fold in on itself. Again, not difficult. You just kind of have to do a couple of things in tandem. So the way the legs will open up is this will kind of hinge downward, right? And so as that is happening, you're going to lift this up, and you can see that's tabbed in on this and this. On my copy, this was really difficult to tab in together initially. Again, subsequent transformations made it easier, but the first time it was just really tight. And so what's happening here is you're going to get this, and you have to keep this extended because you want the clearance here. And then you're going to close this up on itself like that, because you want this entire piece to rest inside there. And this is what I mean. You're just kind of doing a couple of things at once. And then you're going to double hinge that all down. And once it's done properly, there it goes. It will secure in place. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to open this up. This will tab into here, and these are the sides of the legs. But again, I had some initial difficulty. And so with other molds, they haven't been as tight. And I'm wondering if it's just a little mold degradation, because this is the nth version of this series. You know, they've done so many. But this is nice. The way it's going to close up on the dove tabs, that's all done very, very well. And perhaps I will release the feet at this point. The heel and toe are going to come down, and this is just going to double hinge. The toe will come up later on this same double hinge. But yeah, so for the time being, let's just close up the leg. We will keep this open. And then get that to tab in. That's a pretty secure connection. Same thing on the other side. Get everything to tab in. Very, very secure, very seamless. And this is what I was talking about, having that back part of the truck bed be so plain. It's because they want the side of Optimus's leg to be that plain. And then from here, we'll get the foot up, adjust the heel. And more or less, that is the completed leg. Not difficult, not impossible, but again, I do wish the engraving was just a little bit stronger. I feel like that they could do that as well on this. Without incurring too much additional costs or messing with the molds. But hey, at the same time, I'm not a toy manufacturer, so what do I know? Decent enough. Decent enough. This is all good enough, but yeah, that's the leg. All right, I've done a little MGO, second verse, same as the first, and I've already transformed the second leg. And at this point, what you can do is you can crack this open. Now, a lot of stuff is done by friction over here, and one of my chief concerns is that over time, if you're an avid transformer fan, meaning you convert from various modes, you might encounter some wear over time. And so like this is just actually teethed in. So this section right over here is pushing into this painted blue section. And I don't see any paint wear there at the moment, thank goodness. But yeah, it's a very tight fit. And so over time, you may encounter something like that. I hope not. I mean, I have not, and I hope you don't either. But just giving you fair warning. And this is very tight, but you just spin this up. And that is pretty much the waist section. And this you can kind of coax out as well. You know what? I may as well open this part. Perhaps I'm doing this wrong, but the way that I've been doing this is I've been kind of pulling this out and pressing it in, and I've been seeing, not that there's stress there, but a little bit of wear. Because yeah, I've just been doing this. I've just been pulling it out, and just based on the geometry of it, it's not necessarily meant to do that. It would make more sense if the arm were to slide in sideways. So maybe I will try that. I'll try a departure from what I normally do. Okay, I'm going to try a different approach here. And what that is, you know what, let me just bend this up for a second. Normally, I would fold this down last. What I'm going to do is actually try to fish the arm out this way, and so that it hugs that little tab versus this kind of push in. Because I can see, not that there's stress marks, but there are some abrasions over there, and so I've opened the door up, and just to note, this whole section, the shoulder, this bit, the forearm, and this tiny bit on the front, it's all part of the arm. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fish this out sideways. And oh, well, I did get it separated from the back, and so I just need to kind of fish the fist out, and we're good. But at least I got this part open, and so I think that's actually superior to what I've been doing before, but now, there we go. There we go. So cool. I'm actually going to do the same for the other side. You know what? Let's try it on camera one more time now that I've done that. I've opened this up. I'm going to loosen this bit, and oh, look at that, dude. Look at that. Like, you know, dude, as human beings, that's one of the things that's so remarkable. We try something once, we kind of figure out and understand, and the subsequent time that we go through it, it's much easier. So that was great. That was great. And I didn't put any stresses on those little nubs, so that's pretty cool. So the arms in this section is, we can kind of work on that last, but we are going to work on the front bit now. And one of the things about this that's cool, but also a bit of a headache is, again, there are a lot of things that you have to do within a certain order of operations. And this back part, this middle bit, is actually an extension of this entire piece. So you know what, let me move the arms back down. So hopefully, hey, I got it loose. And now you can see we can peel all of that back, and you can see all of that inside there. A pretty simple but very effective piece of engineering. And I'm not sure if I've seen other folks who kind of do that. They have this piece back over here, but I think that is well done. Okay, so now we're going to work on this bit. You will kind of pull these out. I'm not exactly sure if I need them now. You will spin them, but you want to do it when you have the clearance. And so this section over here will fold up. And there you go. I'm able to do that right now. And there we go. And that's pretty cool. The fact that this thing kind of folds down is cool. And you can see the little, those things are present inside Optimus's chest along with the Matrix. So I'm happy that they preserved that little bit of detail. Okay, so these parts, these side bits, and this, like this and this are one piece. This grill, this bumper, that's another piece. So it's like an upside down T. They are on dove tabs. And so you have to kind of release the back ones and then release the front ones. Fortunately, that came undone pretty well. Hey, easy enough. Great, 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 great. Oh, thank you so much, toy review gods, for helping me do that. But yeah, just know you got to put them in sequence. When you're putting this together in truck mode for the first time, do this first, then this second. Going to bot mode, release this first, then this afterward. Okay, and before I forget, for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bring these parts down so that I can get clearance here. And then you are going to flip this over. And this is the part that reminds me either of, it's either MP01 or it's MP10. Honestly, I don't remember, but I do remember one of the Masterpiece Primes doing that. And there you go. And there you have the Matrix chamber seated in there. And I think that's a very fun way of incorporating that. Okay, so now we can work on the ribs. And so just kind of think of that you want to, bring this forward and push this up, right? And now that looks like Optimus's ribs, but you have all of this over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this up, and then you're going to fold that in there. And then you're going to take this bit, and you are going to rotate that piece up. You want to make sure that there's clearance, so bring the arm out of the way. And so after this is all the way up, you can actually push this section up, and now you have the ribs. And then I'll go ahead and do the same for the other side off camera. All right, you can see that both ribs have now been completed. And so we're going to turn them around, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring out the head. Oops, perhaps I should have done that before this just to get some clearance. There we go. And now we can really kind of close that up in there. The head we will spin around, and we can bring the ears up later, but this bit we want to kind of take care of now. So this, you're going to spin, and then you're going to release these pontoon-looking things. You're going to open this bit up, and this will close up here. But as that's happening, this will fold down, and it will sit inside that little channel in here. And if you have gotten everything right, you'll be able to, oh, that was a satisfying click. You'll be able to fit everything inside here, and more or less it will line up. And those bits on the back, those slots, will tab in to those little tabs right there, and it will hold firmly in place. We are at the home stretch, and so what we're going to do is then just collapse that waist in on itself. And same thing for this. You can close that up. And now for the arms, there's so much range of motion going on in the arms. I can't wait to show you kind of like the posability slideshow at the end of this video. You'll see after we put them all together, and I'll show you some really dynamic poses with this guy. But yeah, there's so much going on over here. As far as the arms go, this is really unique, the way it transforms, I think. This is on this hinge, right? And so after you've kind of opened this up, we will open up the forearm, and then we will bring out the fist, and we will fold in this small bit, and then we will close all that up. And there are corresponding little teeth areas so that you know you've done it right. And then pretty much you just close this up. But you can see that the elbow joint is there and the forearm is spun around. And so what you're going to do is you're going to spin the forearm around, and after that you're going to spin the bicep around so that it's oriented properly on the arm. And there you go. That is the arm completed. I've already brought the, the little antennae down, the ears down for the head. And so what I'll do is I'll configure the second arm off camera, and I'll show you some of the accessories afterward, and then show you that cool slideshow that I mentioned. All right, here he is in his bot mode, and he is absolutely beautiful. He really, really is. But again, I am being ultra critical, and so I'm just going to point out a few things. One thing, the hand. The construction on the hand is done very well. The materials are very, very nice, and it has a lot of posability, and so there's a ton to like about it. I just don't like the color. The color is a little bit dull compared to the rest of the blue. This kind of like dark, rich navy that he has going on in the legs and the face. He doesn't have it on the hands, and so I know I'm being nitpicky, but yeah, I wish the colors matched a little bit better. Engraving on the legs. I mentioned this earlier when we were looking at truck mode, but I just wish they were a little bit more prominent. I don't know how they would have achieved that, either by raising this or giving it like a wash or something, but maybe MP10 spoiled me, because MP10 has those nice independent knees, which also are kind of like the cause of its problems as well, but I do wish they're a bit more pronounced. Same thing for this stuff. I just wish there was a little bit stronger engraving work. Same thing for the forearms as well. I would have liked to see some yellow in there, but perhaps it's not accurate to this iteration or this color or whatever they're trying to achieve with this Prime. But I think that would have looked nice. Chipping on the chrome. I'm not a fan of that, and it's actually not a chip. What it is they painted the chrome while it was still on the sprue, and after that they cut it off, and therefore they have that versus spraying it or painting it afterward. And for such a premium toy, and again, the hallmark, the highlight of this version Ultra is supposed to be this special paint job. I think they could have done a better job than that, dude. That's a bit disappointing, honestly. And yeah, that's too bad. It somewhat puts a blemish on what I would consider a very, very premium toy. Now the back is done well. It's very, very flat, and you know, because that's one of the things that I hated about MP10. And it looks good, but at the same time, you can see the top of the truck just kind of peeping out. It's not hidden as well. You can see the sides over here. It's not hidden as well as the other components, and so tiny bit of an eyesore, but again, not the end of the world. Okay, and finally, these gaps on the arms. I know it's there due to the transformation, but again, for such a premium, high-quality figure, I wish they had figured out how to kind of get rid of those and these kind of little dovetailed things. Again, but I am just nitpicking and being ultra critical, because this is, again, an ultra version, and I think it is very, very nice. Regarding accessories, this is one of the new ones that he comes with, and this is the MP10-esque head. Kind of looks like Studio Series Optimus Prime, and so he can look super cute and kawaii for all of his selfies. And his trusty Energon axe that you just slip on underneath the fist, and then you can grab the corresponding top piece and just close it up like that. And that's pretty cool, except that you can see his fist balled up on the inside. But in terms of achieving the look and the function, yeah, it does it just fine, and it looks very nice. Chop, chop, chop. And of course, no Prime is complete without his trusty blaster, and that looks very, very nice. But to conclude this review, let me just show you all the poses that this guy can get in, because man, it is absolutely wild. Dude, I'm telling you, he's so fun and expressive. He can really get into a lot of great poses. Dynamic, I think that's the word I'm looking for. You can pose him in ways where it looks like he's about to spring to life at any second. And also, I learned through this exercise that posing figures is no easy feat. I actually had to do a lot of research and look up various people's advertisements and figure out cool ways to pose Optimus, because just natively, I'm not that great at it. I'm just really really happy that the subject matter was willing to indulge me. Thanks for watching, friends.